here are some things that I would consider before investing into a photography workshop. First, I would exclusively only do a workshop with a photographer that has a minimum of 10 years experience in a specific field. This means they've learned pretty much all there is to learn. They've made their mistakes. They've learned from their mistakes, and they can teach that to you. So it's something that's going to really offer you the best experience when they've got more experience, and I'd say 10 years or more, because that's when you really start getting good at this, as much as that may frustrate some of you. But the reality is those with more experience will have more knowledge and more errors of their ways to share with you. The next thing to consider is follower count, or in fact, don't consider it all. It doesn't matter if someone's got 100,000 followers on Instagram. We know how that algo works. We know it's a system, it's a game, and that doesn't always equate to great photography, okay? So don't get blinded by how many followers they have, and look underneath and really zone in on how much experience they have. Another thing to consider is the price. If it's a crazy high price, then these are probably grifters. Like, it's not worth it. 3 or 4 days for thousands and thousands of dollars is just not worth it. So look at the ones where you think, okay, yeah, it's not cheap, but it's reasonable. They're probably going to be your best bet. Also, fire them a quick message and ask how many people are going to be in the workshop. If they're getting in 50 people, then you're not going to get much time with that photographer. You're not going to be able to have a really kind of person-centered experience and learn more. We all know that. The higher the class, the less attention each student gets. And for me, that's just not a good thing. So look for small class sizes. 5 would be great. 10 maximum if you're asking me. Also, look for testimonials. If they've got a long, diverse collection of testimonials on their website, which are of course positive, then trust them, absolutely trust them. Sometimes photographers will even have Google reviews where it's not being controlled by their own website. So always look at testimonials, see what other people are saying, and you can get an idea if you think it's going to be a worthy investment of your money. We're now going to look at some of the benefits of photography workshops, and they don't all pertain to what you'll learn and how you'll improve your photography skills. For example, the first one is photography workshops are a great networking opportunity. Not everyone that goes to them is an absolute novice. In fact, many people that attend workshops are already working in the industry, and it's a great way to meet new people, get new contacts, and potentially open new doors for you. And failing it from a kind of networking side of things, they're great socials. It's a great time to meet like-minded people who share a passion for something that you have, and it's nice to be around people like that. So that is one benefit of photography workshops. You get to meet like-minded people, and if you're really lucky, make some friends for life. Another benefit is they're a source of inspiration. Now, if I'm looking at some photography magazines or listening to photography podcasts, afterwards, I'm always like, I want to pick up my camera and make more images. And the same is true for photography workshops. When you're around people and you're digesting photography, you're listening, you're learning new things, it just gives you a new burst of life to continue your photography journey and start making better images and loving the craft even more. Okay, so another one is they're a luxury experience. They're also a good gift you can pass to someone. Going out and being around a successful photographer, learning new things, and often, they'll include food, they'll be in nice destinations, Tokyo, New York, places like that. So you just have a really luxury experience, and if you don't learn anything, that is of course a shame, but at the very least, you've had a great day out and something that you'll enjoy and remember for the rest of your life. Okay, now we're going to look at some of the disadvantages of photography workshops. The first one is obvious. They can have high costs. Now, if you are someone who has to look at their pennies, and let's face it, that's many of us, then don't go and invest money that you don't necessarily have or that you can't necessarily afford in the long run on these experiences, because they probably won't be worth it, okay? The other drawback is they're very short. Like I say, 1 to 3 days is not a very long time, and you're going to be getting a lot of information fired into your brain. And regardless of how good the teacher is, our brains only have so much capacity. And, it can be a case that after a certain amount of hours or after the first day, a lot of information goes in, it goes out, and you don't retain it. So it's very difficult. Maybe see if you can record the sessions. Some won't be happy with that because they're worried it'll go public, which is completely understandable. But some photographers will be happy for you to at least record the audio so you can refer back to the teachings and continue to improve your photography skills. Now, another one is they are not always accessible. Like I say, a lot of these workshops are in very built up, cosmopolitan, popular destinations like capital cities, things like that. So if you're out in the sticks or in even smaller towns, it may not be the case that your favorite photographer is ever going to get to you, or they're too far away for you to get to them. And that's just an unfortunate thing. If that is you, then look for online courses or refer to YouTube, where there's a lot of kind of literature and teachings. And yeah, it's a shame that they're not always accessible, but that is one of the drawbacks, that they're often in large destinations which people sometimes live far away from. So yeah, look, photography workshops absolutely can be worth it with the right photographer. I've of course not done every photography workshops, but some that spring to mind: Phil Penman, Street Snappers, Fujifilm as well also runs workshops with Fuji X photographers. And there's some of the good ones that I know from word of mouth in our industry that will serve you well. But remember, do your research, take your time, and if the costs do seem too high, find an alternative. And yeah, you can learn from photography workshops, and at the very least, you can enjoy yourself. But that's my opinion. What do you think? Are photography workshops worth it? If you think they are, let me know in the comments and tell me some of the ones that you've done and recommend some for everyone that's watching this video. Also, don't forget, to hit a like, do subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified when I next post. Until the next one, I'm Dan. This is Them Frames. See ya.